Welcome to the Brad Lang Show. I am Brad Lang, and boy, oh boy, did HBO step in it. What more could they possibly do to offend? With current shows like Game of Thrones and Westworld, and a long history of gritty programming full of sex, drugs, and violence, what more could they possibly do to upset the left that they haven't done already? Now, the showrunners for their current hit show, Game of Thrones, are slated to begin a new project with the network called Confederate. This new show will imagine an alternate reality, one in which the Confederacy wins the Civil War and what that would look like today. This, needless to say, has sparked a knee-jerk reaction from social media. Twitter user Pilot wrote, "Give me the confidence of white showrunners telling HBO they want to write slavery fanfic." I'm going to butcher your name. Samuel Sin Yangwei had a great idea for a show. How about an HBO series where black people were armed and supported, parentheses, not abandoned, by the U.S. military to defeat the KKK and finish Reconstruction? We did finish Reconstruction. That was a very long time ago. User Raw Imagine really clarifies the real objection to the show. Hashtag HBO, hashtag Confederate, making money on perpetuating black trauma. Did no black person tell you this was not a good idea? Did they consult any black people, I wonder? I'm glad you asked, because while everyone is freaking out about the showrunners from the Game of Thrones, David Benioff and D.B. Weiss, being white, no one seems to really care that they've also partnered with a husband and wife writing team who are black. Now, Roxane Gay, she took to the opinion pages of the New York Times with her piece that is definitely not clickbait. It's definitely clickbait. I don't want to watch slavery fan fiction. See, without knowing anything about what they plan to do with the series, since Benioff and Weiss are still pretty busy with a little show that some of you might have seen. I love that show. The thing is, she fears that it's going to be like the Ben H. Winters novel Underground Airlines, a novel in which there was no civil war and slavery is still the order of the day in 4 states. She also wonders, why do we need to continually reimagine a world where slavery continues when we're still dealing with the vestiges of slavery today? Which makes me wonder, why aren't we still dealing with the vestiges of Chinese slavery? Or with the treatment of the Japanese, or hell, the Irish? I mean, could it be? Could it be perhaps because there's an entire group of people who derive political power and economic gain from driving a wedge between us? You see, from Al Sharpton to Miss Maxie, we have a wedge driven between us for the sole purpose of securing money and power. All they have to say is, Whitey gonna have you picking cotton, and Twitter blows up. I mean, at this rate, we're never gonna have a black person in position of power in this racist country. She goes on, wondering why they didn't take a more creative approach, instead of the old chestnut of, y'all still slaves. Perhaps a show where things went a different direction after the Civil War. She recommended where whites were enslaved. You see, the trick is because there's no way that would have happened. See, the North wins the war, and I don't know what you imagine would then come of that. I mean, everyone succumbs to white guilt, and we're slaves now? Or perhaps a series where Mexico won the Mexican-American War, and California and Texas are still part of Mexico. See, Mexico would be bigger, the United States would be smaller, and that would be a really boring series. See, the outrage this has sparked as well as the hashtag war that goes with every great injustice, really emphasizes the need that some people have in this country to perpetuate this divide. Where was everyone boycotting Amazon's The Man in the High Tower? I mean, the show has literal Nazis. I mean, my favorite part of her piece, she states that creativity without constraints comes with responsibility. Really? Sister, if a crucifix and a jar of piss is art, I think this qualifies. See, art is not deemed to be so based on the level of leftist outrage. The best thing you can do, if you don't like the idea of this show, don't watch it. See, the thing that drives me crazy, what really bothers me about all of these outrage hashtag Twitter wars that people try and get shows canceled over, is there's a simple solution. We can end it right now. Just change the channel. And that's what I do. Do you think that I watch most of the crap like that Bill Nye special? I've seen a couple clips, but there's no way in hell you're going to get me to actually click on that thing, because I know it's drivel. So why don't we just do what I would do? Change the channel. Go watch Game of Thrones, because I just need some more dragons in my life. Dracarys. To stay up to date on all the latest content and videos, be sure to click subscribe, and you can find me on Twitter @BradLangShow. Thanks for watching.